Welcome to Blast from the Past Cooking, Christmas edition.
The 18th century was a booming time agriculturally. There was new advances in technology and farming techniques.
One of these new advances was the seed drill. This was invented by Jethro Tull in 1701. It helped make many farming things faster and more efficient by plowing the ground, placing the seed, and covering it back up with dirt.
There were also the use of fodder crops. These crops would be planted to restore nutrients to the soil or used to feed livestock. One of the most common fodder crops was clover, which added nutrients back into the soil.
People also began to use animal manure to fertilize the soil. This helped increase crop yield.
Even though it looked like the times were booming in agriculture, there was still a lot of hardship. 80% of peasants still had to work the land in order to provide for their town. But as food became more available, population started booming. The large surplus of food soon diminished in places like France. The peasants couldn't afford bread and many died of starvation.
Even with the scientific revolution, preservation of foods remained traditional by the process of drying, salting, and smoking or pickling in vinegar.
Good thing we're going back in time to England during the 18th century.
Woo!
Hi friends, my name is Lou and I'm a peasant. Most of my family works in the fields, so food and money is extremely scarce. The food I put on the table for my family is the food we grow in the fields. So if the crop of wheat is bad this year, my family won't be eating very much this year. Also, if anyone in the field slacks off, it affects the whole family because there is less food on the table. Lucky for us, the crop of wheat and rye was really good this year, and everyone worked hard, so we have enough ingredients to make bread today. The kind of bread we will make is rye bread, because the rye crop was the best and it's my family's favorite. To make this delicious bread, you'll need 1.5 cups of water, 1.5 tablespoons of molasses, and packed brown sugar. You'll also need 1.5 teaspoons of white vinegar and 2 2/3 cups of bread flour. You'll also need 3 3/4 cups of rye flour and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And you'll also need 2.5 teaspoons of dry active yeast and 1 tablespoon of caraway seeds. And you mix that up. And then once it's all mixed up, then it'll turn into a dough form. And then you bake it in the oven. And then this is how it turns out. Beautiful! Once the bread is done in the oven, to add some texture and flavor, sprinkle some alum on the top of the loaf. This will also make you feel a lot fuller. As a drink on the side of my bread meal, I would suggest gin because it goes great with the flavors of the rye bread. And that's all there is to rye bread, a staple in peasant cooking in the 18th century.
Hello little boys and gals, my name is Clarissa Evans. I'm a bourgeois, which of course means I'm pretty rich. Not like princess rich of course, but still, I can afford some pretty nice things. Today I'll be making traditional Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding is a staple of the British Sunday dinner. Sometimes we even ate it as a separate course before the main meat dish. Yorkshire pudding was to be used as more of a filling portion because meat can sometimes be very expensive. I'm not sure why I'm making this meal today because I have a cook and a servant, but I suppose since I'm already in the kitchen, I might as well. Hey you, bring me an apron. Yeah, rich. All of this. out. 4 large eggs. So, get out eggs. Look like these. Very large. This is a very large egg. I promise. 1.5 cup of milk. So, milk. They come in containers just like that, I swear. And some salt to taste. You like things to taste good. And then some flour. So, yeah. So I mix the flour in with see, flour. Put some milk in there. Yep, that's about 1/4. Or that's a lot of milk right there. And some salt. Turn the little dial thing. Salt. Perfect. Now, just blend it. Hold up. Hold up. With my spoon type item. You gotta blend it real well. Oops. Make sure you don't get it on the table. And yeah, so you just keep on blending it until it's really, really mixed up, just like this. You see that? Very mixed. It's like a tricep workout with these guns. And then yeah, and so I put it in my icebox type thing for like 30-ish minutes. I mean, don't have an exact clock, but you know, put it in there. Yep. Yep. All right, 30 minutes is up. All right. Now we pour it in a muffin tin. Looks a little bit like this. Yep. Just put some in there. And now we put it in the oven. And now, after, because it's been like 15 or 20 minutes, it comes out looking like this. Yep. They're nice and crispy. They look fantastic. I am such a great cook. So now I've got to face the real struggle, waiting until dinner to eat this. But since it's Sunday, I guess, since it's Jesus' day, I can wait.
Hello, sinners of the world. I am Archduke of Canterbury, William Wake, which happens to sound like Cadbury. I was the head of the Anglican Church from 1716 through 1737. Of course, being so high up meant I could eat anything at my desire. My favorite meal was roast beef. Not any roast beef, but traditional English roast beef. Roast beef became the national dish of England in 1731. Most of the time it is served cold, unless my friends or family come over. Then it will be served hot. My premium cuts of beef are stored in the icebox, and I have my servants fetch it and prepare it for me. Today, though, I'll make the traditional roast beef recipe. You'll need a pound or so of beef round roast, half a tablespoon of butter. You will need a pinch of dry sage, salt, and pepper. First, salt and pepper the roast. So you're just going to take the roast, put it on there, rub it in, make it all nice, crispy. Then place half a cup of water in the pan holding the roast. Then you're going to brown the roast on the oven with some melted butter. So, you just put that in there. And now it's browned. That's how it works. Lastly, cover the pan and cook it in the oven for 2 to 3 hours. Of course, time will vary on how hot the oven is and how large the piece of meat is. So we're just going to put it in the oven. While you're waiting to make one of the best things ever created, you can make some tea. Only warning is that if you're a peasant, you better get working because only the wealthy and upper class can afford meat. Now the meat is done. So we're just going to Take out the meat. Cooked to perfection. As my Swedish friends once said, the British lack the ability to cook things well besides large pieces of meat.
Well, hello peasants. I'm Queen Anne of England. Today I will be making a traditional crumb cake with a popular cup of hot chocolate. By being queen and having enormous wealth, I'm able to take advantage of foreign trade, which gives me access to valuable sugar, chocolate, meats, fruit and vegetables, and spices. Desserts like puddings and cakes are very popular with the wealthy and are often served with a glass of wine after dinner. They are commonly cooked as a side dish to meat. Alright, for this traditional crumb cake we will need cake mix, 3 eggs, and 1 cup of water. For the topping we'll need 2 sticks of margarine, 2 sticks of butter, 1.5 teaspoons vanilla, 3/4 teaspoons vanilla extract, 5 1/3 cups flour, 2 1/3 cups, plus a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 1/3 cup plus a 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon with 3/4 cups of confectioner's sugar. To begin, we will start with our open fire and get it to 325 degrees. Then we will spray our pan with a cookie sheet with butter. Now mix the cake mix, eggs, and water in a bowl with lots of power for 4 minutes. Pour the mixture into a pan and smooth it with a spatula. Bake it in the oven for 325 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. While it is cooking, we will prepare the crumb topping, but considering I have it done already, I will take out the cake. Wow, that was fast. Alright, now for the toppings. Let's see here. We have our butter, which was melted for as much time as needed, and it has been cooled completely. We will add a 1/4 teaspoon of 1.5 teaspoons vanilla. One. And a half. Alright. Now for the dry ingredients. So, what we gotta do is we need our flour, which is 5 1/3 cups of flour. Get it into a nice big bowl. Yeah. Alright. We also need our sugar. Let's see, what else do we gotta do? And our cinnamon, which is a tablespoon. Can't wait for the cinnamon challenge to be invented. That'll be an interesting year. Bam. Alright. Now, got all this. And I may need some assistance with this because it is very exhausting. We are going to pour the butter. We will be cutting this into the mixture. So we have our butter. And I will show my assistant exactly how to do this. And I will keep adding more butter. This is so we get a nice crumbly texture in our mixture. So good. We'll just dump the rest of that in there now. Keep doing this until it's a nice crumble. Then we'll pour it over our cake until put it in the oven and it looks like gonna make my servants do this. Now for some hot chocolate. All you need is sugar, salt, water, milk, and cocoa powder. And I had my servants do this for me earlier, considering I'm not a very good cook. I'm not used to this. So just pour it all in here with the other mixtures and put it in your oven. Got a very nice oven. Thank you. And that is how you make a fancy meal. Work.
Peasants were mostly stuck eating garlic, onions, roots, and vegetables, and dairy became a big part of their diet, consisting of curdled milk, rye bread, porridge, cheese, dirt, and bark during bad harvests.
However, there was a great increase in prosperity in Europe that reached all classes and areas, which changed the patterns of eating.
Class differences were far more important, dividing lines, and it was almost always upper class food that was described in collections and cookbooks.
The government had also given enormous financial backing to the distilling industry in the beginning of the 18th century, leading to the Act of Indulgence.
This act of indulgence led to widespread health problems of the wealthy, including gout, diabetes, heart, and liver disease.
The peasants' food, on the other hand, lacked substance and nutritional value.
Many of these foods were secretly made with poisonous ingredients. Even the copper and brass pans were dangerous when mixed with acidic foods.
The cuisines eaten during the early modern Europe was a mix of dishes inherited from medieval cuisine combined with innovations made throughout the modern era.
Bye, friends!
Scene.
Welcome to Blast from the Past Cooking, Christmas edition.
No, keep going. Come back, Kenzie. Keep going.
No, we can't edit things, so we need to do it perfect. Welcome to Blast from the Past Cooking, Christmas.
Christmas.
We're almost there. We got.
Hi friends, my name is Lou and I'm a peasant. I can't do this.
Anyone want the phone?
Alright. Let's do this again.
I was not ready.
Oh my god.
I need to swallow, Myah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh.
It's still recording.
Hold up.
Cassidy, so while Gruber texts me, I got
Alright.
Milan.
Milan.
Okay, let's
I
go,
hate
friends.
it. Bye.
Dude.
Alright.
Sarah told me a thing about Milan.
Ready?